It's a lot harder to sit in jeans than I thought it would be. Hello guys, my name is Courtney Lawrence, otherwise known as the Bougie Psychic, and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin this video, I want you guys to know that I have started a healing subscription service. So usually my healings are $111 per hour, which is, you know, I've spent a lot of time training, so yeah, I'm very comfortable charging that price, but it's very financially inaccessible for a lot of my followers. And so I've started this amazing collective healing subscription service, and you can sign up for that in the link will be in the bio. And I do four healings, okay? Like transmedium, out of body healings a month. So instead of paying $444 for 4 healings, you get 4 healings for 30 bucks a month. And I go through and I tell you everything I cleared. I have a whole entire video on it. You guys can totally see that. I'll have that linked in the bio. And I just want you to have that option and know that that's there in case you're ready for it. We have an amazing community already so far. And if you join in March, you get a free personal 15-minute session with me, 15-minute like healing session. And trust me, that will be potent and powerful. These TM healings are nothing to mess with. So awesome. Without further ado, I will begin. So there's already a community that's forming, and it's really cool to go through this healing process and have other people around you that really understand what you're going through. And you know, I mean, as you all know, like a spiritual awakening process can be super, super isolating. So having that community of people and going through that healing sort of together, but you know, celebrating you guys' own individual experiences in that healing can be something that's really potent and powerful. So I hope to see you guys there. Today I'm going to be doing an interesting reading. I'm going to be trying to look at the energies of April. And to be honest, I really want to put a big disclaimer out there. The state of the world is so unstable right now that I'm not going to be trying to make any sort of big worldly claims. You know, I mean, I might see some energy sort of related to the coronavirus and what's going on, but I'm not going to be trying to tell you that everything's going to be perfect for you or this bad thing's going to happen to you. But I'm going to try to kind of be reading, I think, some of like the soul growth periods. And if you guys have seen some of my videos before, a growth period is like kind of like what lessons the soul learning, what sort of themes are coming up, what maybe if there's, you know, like karmic themes, or yeah, I guess, you know what, yeah, just kind of like what sort of like themes are coming up. What are you experiencing, and how can you kind of like level up from that experience? How can you, I don't like saying the word like raise your vibration because it sounds really like law of attraction-y, but like, yeah, how can you raise your vibration? How can you integrate your most truest self and your most authentic self that you're supposed to be in this lifetime? So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into the stones. So this stone over here, I'm not going to be using this quartz point. I just like to make points with my quartz points. So this is like really hard to sit on. So over here, this is the Snowflake Obsidian. True story, I could not find this guy for like 2 months. Then he came running back, so I guess he wants to be seen. Snowflake Obsidian. I think we could all use some grounding right now anyway. Okay, and this is the Labradorite. Looks pretty nifty and cool. This has never been used before, and it's called a magic egg because it changes colors. And I just thought, like, you know what, like, let's try it. Let's spice it up. The world is pretty spicy right now, so bitch, I will be too. All right, so, and then we have Funky Little Green Man, as always. Actually, not as always. He was here last time. I still don't know the name of the stone, but it is always and forever. He will be Funky Little Green Man, and I love him. That's what I named him last video. And we have the rose quartz, as always, in the shape of a heart, because I love her. She's so cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have the Snowflake Obsidian as stone 1. Wow, okay, so what I'm seeing for you guys, and it's interesting because this kind of goes along, I think, with even like the end of March as well, but like obviously this isolation is having to have you really face yourself. But like, I'm not saying that in a way that's like, oh, time to face your demons and try to like, you know, time to see, you know, face yourself, I guess. It's like you guys are being forced to, it's like you're becoming more condensed. I'm literally seeing you and your energy, and what it's doing is it's like kind of like a funnel, and it's coming in and it's becoming more like dense and richer and more I'm trying to find, it's like, I'm trying to think of the word for this, but it's kind of like all of this energy that was all, maybe your energy was all scattered, maybe in all these different places, all these different people, these relationships. You were giving so much of your energy, it looks like, to all of these different things that you really didn't have time, it looks like, to really focus on certain things that you really want to do or want to accomplish or even want to feel, like certain goals that you have. And so I'm seeing that like your energy is becoming, instead of scattered, it's like coming, there's a word. It's like shh, and then direct. It's becoming more directed, I guess. It's like kind of circling in. I'm trying to show you it, and then like direct. And so what I'm seeing is that it's like you guys will be able to have more of that time to focus on these things that are actually really important to you as a person that perhaps you didn't even really like, you put on the back burner. Perhaps because you put your relationships first, and you put, like, you know, obviously work, if you have to work a job and you get really tired and you have to come home, like you don't have the time or the energy necessarily to focus on certain things. So it's like, you know, different like household projects, or even, you know, let's say you've always wanted to, you know, go into music, and now you have the time to like go on YouTube and watch tons of like tutorials on like how to make electronic music, or like how to learn how to sew, or how to do certain things, and pick up certain hobbies that genuinely like make you feel alive, other than relationships and going out and like doing these things. It's like what actually fulfills you as a soul. And it looks like during this time, especially in April, you know, as April progresses, it looks like right now, you know, while you're being forced to kind of stay inside, you know, these things are becoming evident. But it looks like in April, you know, even if, you know, we're not on quarantine anymore, even if like things just blow over and it's a fucking miracle, like let's hope, it's like during this time you've really begun to realize, whoa, like this is important to me. And it looks like in the month of April there's going to be a lot of focus on these things, like on these projects that you have, on these goals, on, you know, on a business, or on these just like things that just genuinely make you happy, that you haven't really been able to like put a lot of time into doing. It looks like that's something that's going to be just so healthy for you, and something that your soul kind of needed and craved. So in a weird way, this is like working in your favor, kind, you know, I mean, it's like, I'm not trying to, everything happens for a reason, but like, you know, sometimes the love and light people have a point, you know. And it looks like for you guys, whatever adversities you may be going through, there is this one sort of positive thing that's kind of like, wow, like at least I discovered this, kind of this, it's like something you've been really searching for. Yeah. And it's really beautiful, because it looks like during this time too, what will happen is that, you know, you're going to meet people with those same interests maybe, or you'll, you know, start that community online, or, you know, with these same interests. And it's like you have nothing better to do, so why not do it? Why not try it? Why not go for it? There's not really a risk of failure, like, oh my god, I'm like wasting my time doing something, because like what the fuck are you gonna do anyway, you know? So yeah, it just looks like this, you'll maybe even create a community from this, or you know, you just kind of, it looks like a lot of you guys is also in April, your values are going to start to really come into check. So if before you were kind of just a yes man and just saying yes to certain things that you wanted to do, and like, oh, you know, yeah, sure, I'll go to that party and I'll go get fucked up or something like that. It's like the energy that was spent doing that is now going to be, and nothing wrong against partying. It was just kind of like that was just sort of an example, you know, or, you know, this person's asking you to hang out all the time and you're always kind of saying yes, or this person's always needing your help and you're like, yeah, you know, just, it looks like what really matters to you is going to be shoved in your face in a way that is just simply unignorable anymore. You cannot ignore it. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing for stone 1, the snowflake obsidian. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and actually stop. Now moving on to stone 2, the labradorite. So it's so hard to sit in jeans. Like, I don't understand how people do it. I'm always wearing like sweatpants or like leggings. So I'm seeing that there's some for you guys in April. What you're showing me is, I know this is like kind of hard to believe with the current climate, the political, environmental, health climate, but I'm seeing you guys, it's like these little nuggets of information, these little sort of clues, these little signs. What you're showing me is like kind of, you know, being on a scavenger hunt and like looking, and this clue, then this clue, then this clue, and then it's like this prize. And so what I'm seeing from that, it looks like, and each time you find it, it's kind of like unbelievable, and you don't really, it's kind of like, how did I get here? Sort of energy of, oh, this is a clue to like the big thing, like how did this happen? So what I'm seeing for you guys is, there's something that you want, and it looks like it's going to come in a very sort of synchronistic and unexpected way. So what it is that you want, it's an answer, a relationship, something that you're manifesting, a job, money. Like, you know, a lot of people right now, of course, are worried about, you know, getting rent, you know, and having things paid, and that's obviously, that's a very, me too. But it looks like there's just some things that, like, it looks like for you guys that are going to remind you that it's like there's something bigger than you, that there's something kind of watching over you, whether you believe in angels, guides, God, Bigfoot, I don't care. You believe in something, and it's gonna kind of show you in a way that it's looking out for you. And so it looks like it's really cool. You go to these like stones or whatever it is, you know, these little clues. It's like maybe you meet somebody at like this bar, if we're allowed to go to bars. This is just an example. And let's say you're really trying to meet a partner, okay? And you end up making friends with this person, and they're like, oh my God, you should just like come hiking with us, all this stuff. And you agree, and you go on this hike, and that's the way that you meet like a certain partner. It looks like there's gonna be something that, like these little steps that are going to guide you towards the thing that you want. And what I'm seeing is like really trust in those steps, and trust that something really does like have your back. So it's like if you randomly get the intuitive call to open the computer and check flights and go to this flight, I don't know. Yeah, actually I do know. You know, if you get this like random intuitive sort of like, I should do this right now. I'm seeing for the month of April that perhaps that might be. So if you're getting this sort of like random intuitive sort of clue to go to this place at this time for this reason just because. It looks like just beginning to trust in your intuitive abilities. And it's kind of, what's showing me is that what's happening in April for a lot of you guys is just like this flow. And it reminds me of being in, you know, just extreme alignment. Obviously we manifest adversity sometimes because there can be foreign energy, people, or, you know, might not just, that thing might not be for us, but like also there's sometimes the road can get hard because, you know, other people can get into our space. But it looks like for you guys in April, you're going to be really learning how to just trust in the ease and trust in knowing that you're in alignment. It looks like that's what your big lesson is. It looks like a lot of you guys have worked your asses off, you know, all the time. And April's going to be just about letting it happen. Oh, I should go here. Instead of, I gotta think about what to do at this point and go and talk to this person and network with this person in order to achieve career goal. It's kind of just like, I feel like going here right now. And it's just this state of ease that you're really bringing in, and you're really releasing a lot of like extreme effort energy of just kind of telling the universe, hey, like I need a new job if you've been laid off, and the universe is just like, here's a better job, and you're just like, whoa, wow, this is amazing. And so I'm seeing that these little things are going to be happening that are guiding you to this bigger goal, whatever it is. Maybe that bigger goal is just simply, you know, trusting in yourself and trusting in that higher power, or just trusting that you're not alone and that things like care about you. You know, that's the cool thing about, I guess for me, waking up was, you know, I discovered that there were, you know, actually a lot of little beings that were helping me the entire time. And, you know, discovering that is really cool and really magical, and just there are angels, they're just like lovely things, and there are good people in the world too. It's like during this time of chaos and extreme selfishness that we're seeing with a lot of people and so many different, you know, I mean, at least American government, it'll be a nice reminder that there is altruism, and there are just there are people who care, there are good things, and it can just be easy. And it looks like a lot of you guys just like need to learn that and actually believe that, because it looks like for you guys a lot of things have just been taken away, or things have just fallen away, or, you know, just some major drama happens, or you get the thing and it's not what you want. It looks like a lot of drama, and can you just bring in this state of ease, or in trauma too? So that's what I'm seeing for you guys in the month of April. Just allowing yourself to kind of be guided by yourself and trust and flow with this sort of like ease vibration that you haven't really been able to truly integrate, it looks like, until now. And it looks like there'll just be this moment that you really, it's like a aha, that restores your faith in a lot of things. Cool, that's stone 2. All right, stone 3, the magic egg. Let's look at that. Wow, okay. I'm sorry. Woo! The energy's like slapped me in the face with this one. Magic egg. You dirty little rascal. You guys, it's still like so in my face. You guys are going to be really called to step into your power in a way that you have never stepped into your power before. It looks like in April. Not to sound dramatic, but like, it looks like for you guys, I'm seeing just so many people like looking at you and like being help in a way, or just, you know, it's kind of not like saying you're a messiah or anything, but it looks like you guys really calling on your power in this time and really owning certain, God, what the hell is that? Sorry. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so it looks like you guys are going to be really, really called upon to really own your power and really it's like if you guys have spiritual gifts, it looks like in this time it's going to be like really important and really potent for you to step into this space. If you don't feel like you have spiritual gifts, I'm going to be real with you and say every single person can be psychic, and the only thing that's telling you that you're not psychic is yourself or programming. So it looks like this period is a very dense, it looks very dense for some of you guys. And it's not necessarily bad, it's just loaded. And during that time, it looks like what you guys are going to be really needing to do is really own your space as well. So owning your power is one thing, you know. And what I mean by owning your power is just, you know, not allowing landlords to with you, not allowing people to with you, not allowing just certain things. It's like you are stepping into your power, and it doesn't mean having power over the other person. Okay, that's a very different energy. Stepping into your power is just owning your truth. And for you guys, it looks like you're going to be needing to have serious boundaries. And I mean that because I'm not seeing like anything terrible or bad happening, but what's happening, it's like you're being called upon to stop behaving in a specific way or stop allowing people to treat you in a specific way, and own that. And it looks like before what would happen, it was like this interesting dynamic of like when this boundary would happen, what they would be trying to do is like shove all their energy into you. And what you would do is like what you saw as power is taking all of their energy, combining it with yours and shoving it back into them. And what is that? That's abusive. That's energetically, that's not a boundary, that's abuse. And so it looks like what you guys are trying to do here is kind of break this cycle. And can you own kind of like your space over here and be solid with this boundary, but not say things with a slap across the face, and not, you know, not have it whack the other person energetically, not send a bunch of hate over towards them. Can you own your power, have a solid no, and say, no, like this is what's going to be happening right now, and, you know, either be able to walk away from a situation, own your shit in a situation. Just, it looks like a lot of these things are going to, like these sort of situations might be coming up. And I'm also seeing it might be with people that are extremely needy and maybe extremely negative. You know, of course, this situation, I don't want to invalidate the situation and say that like, oh, just be positive, because that's bullshit. But like, there are going to be some people who are just Stone 3. I was literally on a roll and then my phone ran out of storage. Love that for me. So basically what I was saying was that there are going to be some people though that are negative, but like in the way where, and it's not because something really terrible or bad has happened to them, it's extreme, okay? Like it's exhausting, it's debilitating, it's sucking your energy 24/7. There's like, you can be sad, but you don't have to be exhausting to other people, like extremely exhausting. And you know, we all can be that way, but it looks like in the way that some of these people might be coming to you, where it's just like constant, and it's almost like no work is being done. It's just like, here, let me just dump my problem on you, let me just like put all this stuff on you, and not really deal with it and just complain. That's kind of the energy that I'm talking about here. Is there's nothing to, you know, there's no action being done. So that is partially what I'm seeing. And for you guys during this time, it's gonna be super important for you to really own your space. So it looks like a lot of these people, right, as a light worker, or even, you know, just, you know, people in general from like many different lifetimes, we can be programmed that the best thing to do, the most charitable, most kind thing that we can do is take on everybody else's energy around us and try to solve their issues for them. And so I'm seeing that there might be, during this time, this tendency, you know, it looks like for you guys actually, I know this like sounds kind of weird, but things might end up really working out for you during this period in a way that it doesn't for other people. And it looks like it's because you're in your power and you're really trying to own, you know, your life. And so like, let's say you get fired from your job and you desperately need a new job, and over the coronavirus scare, you develop this amazing online course and online class, you're making more money than you ever were before, everything's actually like working out for you in a better way. And it's like there's a bit of guilt around this, it looks like maybe for you guys, like just where things just might like work out for you, you know? And I'm just seeing that there might be a lot of pushback. There might be a lot of like, there might be a sort of like peer pressure tendency to want to almost self-sabotage it or throw it all away completely, or just take on somebody else's issue and take on everybody else's problems and kind of like be kind of one with the herd. But you're not helping anybody here, and I'm going to break that down for you. So basically, if somebody is suffering, right, like let's say this person over here is going through a major breakup, and then you're like, oh, you know, this person's kind of dumping all their energy on you, and they're like, oh my god, blah blah blah, and you start to take on that energy and start to go through that too in your relationship and trying to help that person solve it. And what has actually happened is this. So people can vent to you and they can talk to you, but are you accepting their energy into your space? Are you being able to hold that good boundary, holding that space for that person to be there? It looks like you guys are like, oh, like let me just take it. Everything's so good for me, like let me just take that on, you know? And what I'm saying is that, one, it's because of guilt. It's like you think you're like, you know, guilt. And also it's like the good thing to do. And also you see yourself as more capable of handling the problem. So they're trying to dump their problem on you. They don't see themselves as capable, and what they're going to you for is, here, you're more capable than me, take this problem. And what you're doing by accepting it into your space and accepting that energy is reinforcing, one, that they're not capable, and two, what you've actually done. Okay, so if they have 100% of their problem, what they do is they chuck it over to you, like 50% of it, and you take it on. You now have 50% of their problem. You can't solve a problem that's not yours. And this person over here now has 50% of their energy to be able to handle their problem. That's not enough energy for them to be able to take action or figure out what they need to do. Basically, both of you guys stay stuck. The planet is kind of doing this right now. Everybody's like, here, like, oh god, oh my god, you're having it so hard, especially like on social media, like, let me take that on, like, let me take that on, like, it's chaotic, it's extreme, and it looks like for you guys, a sense of grounding and really being able to own your space is going to be absolutely imperative. And when this person is coming up to you and doing this, and if you can do it in the nicest and most kind way and just, you know, listen, but just not take on that energy, which you can kind of, what you can do, it's kind of what I've been teaching people to do, is just visualize kind of a trash can. So visualize a trash can. If they're trying to word vomit on you, have them, you know, see the trash can in front of you and make it really bright and shiny. And they're like, here, like, take it. And it's like they can vomit into it. They're like, okay, you know, because people don't really know that they're doing this, right? And have that kind of trash can corded down to the center of the earth. So have it like kind of grounded. So it's like a tube, and it just goes directly down to the center of the earth, and that Mama Earth just kind of heals it and gives it back to that person. That's kind of that's how we're taught to ground, is to ground into Mother Earth. And so this sort of kind of like deflection, if like you can be there for someone, kind of see them in a bubble maybe even, and just give them a lot of expansion, just give them a lot of space to go through what they're going through, and kind of, you know, maybe just, here you go, you need something, okay, and you can be there and you can listen, and then you're still a good friend, but you're not taking on the problem. So that's just like some helpful tips of giving them a lot of spaciousness. Like that's holding space and like visualizing them in like a big bubble and give them so much space. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. If you've ever had somebody actually who does energy work do it to you, oh, it feels amazing. then they have a lot more spaciousness to work out the problem, and it's not so in their face and slapping them across the face and so like, life and death. So that's just like some other like, you know, ways that you can go about doing this. But yeah, so I'm just seeing that it's going to be, you know, you guys are going to be releasing a lot of guilt. And also by holding that space, what you're teaching that person is self-love. So you're teaching this person how to own their space, because most likely what that person is doing is also taking on the energy of everybody else. If they are able to give their problem to you, then most likely other people are giving their problem to them. So what you're doing is teaching them, this is how you have your space. This is how you make your life a little bit less hectic. Not saying that, you know, you'll never go through anything bad, but my goodness, it feels so much better to go through your problem and your problem only than take on the entire planet's. So what you're doing is you're teaching this person, even if it gets even if they act negatively, okay, because, you know, that relationship might change a bit. Even if there's like a bit of a negative reaction there, it looks like this is actually something that is very helpful and teaches them. And then, you know, they ruminate on it for days, and maybe they energetically begin to match you. Pretty cool. So teaches them that they're capable, gives them space, feels good, and it allows them to have all of their energy to go through and take action to solve their issue. So yeah, for you guys, own your space, have that solid boundary without like slapping the other person across the face, and just really come into that power during this time. It looks like that's what's going on in April for you, and maybe even in the end of March, probably right now. All right, stone 4, it is the man, myth, legend, funky little green guy. So let's go ahead and look at the energy for this stone. All right, for you guys, it looks like something is finally coming to an end. In a good way. It might be a relationship, it might be a job, it might be a way of thinking, a way of life. It just looks like something is, it reminds me of like in numerology, not like the Tower card, but like the number 9. Like, not like that Tower sort of sometimes 5 energy, but like the number 9 where it's just, it's completion. It's like, I am complete with that. Like, I am done. And it looks like it's like closure for something is finally gonna come in, and it's finally just gonna be done. And I'm not looking at how the other person's gonna take it or how that relationship, job, whatever it is gonna, but I'm looking at you, and you look like you're finally just done. This sort of, it looks like if there was like a relationship that was very back and forth, or like this, like a connection that just like wouldn't go away or like come back, or it's not in this like, and it's not in a, that's what I'm saying for you at least, it's not in a sad way. It's just kind of like a, it's done. Like, I'm just, there's no drama, there's no bullshit. It's just kind of like a, all right, done, book ended, chapter completed, whatever it is, just done. And it looks like it was something that you couldn't really, you felt like you maybe didn't have power over. Maybe it wasn't on your terms. Just sort of like, yeah, it just looks like this, like you are finally just like walking away from something. And it's gonna feel, like, I don't even like it's gonna be so empowering, like all this stuff. It's kind of like suggesting there's a winner or there's a loser. You won't care. That's it's like, that's your truth. It's just kind of like this, all right, I'm done. Okay, kind of moving forward. All right, on to the next thing. No, yeah. And it looks like you've been trying to get to that space, not like the win or the lose or the, if it's like an ending of a relationship, I guess I'm seeing this like maybe it's a friendship or some sort of like looks kind of romantic, a very karmic sort of thing, or like relationship with people and a job. It's just kind of this moving forward. And the door is finally shut so that you can finally progress onwards with the story that you want to write. It looks like it whatever this is, it looks very karmic and very like past life, where it's like, all right, I'm finally done. I have this. You finally get to be in present time, I guess, and really create the life, write the book that you're trying to write in present time, instead of kind of going over these same stories over and over and over again. And like, it's gonna feel just, I mean, absolutely relieving on like a soul level, it looks like, for you guys. Like just relief. Like you can breathe. Freedom. Seeing a lot of freedom. Whatever it is that you're letting go, like it's just, it looks like it's been due for a long time, and either you or the other person or what, it looks like you're finally walking away from something, and it's just like they can't come back, or like the job is done, okay, like the door is shut, like I kind of this, like, even if there's like a move, you know, like, okay, I completed whatever I needed to complete in this space and with these people and this moving to a different city, it's just, you're just done. And it's very simple. And it just, oh wow, I'm stoked for you guys. Nobody really writes songs about how beautiful it is to fall out of love with somebody and finally have that freedom and that peace. And for those of you that are really relinquishing a romantic relationship or a connection that isn't working out for you, I don't give a what people say about twin flames and all that stuff. If it's unhealthy and you finally feel like you can move on and have a better life without that person, yeah. It just, I don't even know where I was going with that, because it looks so, wow. And what's gonna happen, it's like this spaciousness is gonna occur where you're able to bring in something new. It's like you're creating what you're doing. It looks like in April is finally creating that space for what it is that you want. Being able to walk away from something, whether it be romantic or like, you know, even if you're like working for your parents or something, it's really hard to get out of, you know, and you finally say no. Like just like things like that. Like it's just that you thought you would always be stuck in, and you're just like, you finally get the power and the courage, and it's just easy, and it just is what it is. So yeah, what else am I seeing there? Yeah, just like an appreciation of the space. I'm not necessarily seeing in April you manifest that next partner or that next job or that next thing, whatever it is immediately, because it's like you haven't had any room to breathe. It's like you're like, okay, like we'll go into the next thing, but like first I'm gonna like, wow, focusing on me, a concept, you know? Just, it looks like you guys need like rest. That's another huge thing that I'm seeing for you guys come up with Mr. Funky Little Green Man in April. Is rest is going to be so important. So important. It looks like this relationship or whatever was happening, like this thing that you're letting go, like romantic relationship just keeps coming up, or like an ex-partner, whatever it is, just your body has been on like maximum overdrive because of that, whatever was happening. And so now that your body has the space to breathe, it might just want to sleep all the time, and like that's okay. Don't like hate yourself. But it looks like the body is so tired, and it's gonna really need that time to just be in peace and like sit outside, if we can, and meditate and just not think about anything, just be. So don't hate yourself if you're overly tired in April as your body is catching up with this spaciousness. It looks like that is one of the best things that you can do, is give it that rest that it needs. Also, I'm seeing that, like, if you can, I don't know, it looks like your body, you're just gonna really coming in tune with your body. So like, it looks like in this period, like really treating it right and like giving it like really nice fresh juices, like not the sugary kind, but like, you know what I'm talking about, like nice juices, you know? Splurge out like Whole Foods one time. Just like allow yourself to like have, it's like, it reminds me of like Taurus season where it's like that sensuality and like smells and scents and like, but for you guys it looks like taste and like feeling and just really like the body and really being grounded in the body and just really allowing yourself to treat the body well and with respect and allowing the body to have rest. LOL, I'm saying eat and sleep during Taurus season. That's to the end, but like still, it's funny. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm seeing for you guys too. It's just like, that's gonna be really important. The way that you treat your body is the way the world treats you. So really beginning to solidify that relationship with the body and giving it nutrients and giving it things that it wants. It looks like just like that self-love and that self-care and kind of being that nurturing parent or that partner, or I don't know, just whatever you need, that nurturing, like giving that to yourself is going to be so incredibly important during this time. Yeah, so it just looks like karma's complete on something. It's done in like an amazing way, in a relieving way. So don't freak out. I know some people are like, what are we doing with my twin flame, bitch? I don't even know what a twin flame is. Last but not least, we have the rose quartz. So I'll go ahead and tune into the energy of this stone. You guys, I'm seeing in April may be heavily overstimulated in the beginning. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh. Okay, weird. I thought this was gonna go like, so if this is true, like totally take that. But I thought this was gonna go in the direction of take time off of social media because you're gonna be super overstimulated by a ton of news. And like, yes, you know, if you need to do that, totally do it. But I'm seeing something different. So, okay, I think I've talked about this before, but rose quartz is always about love, I guess. I don't know, just like receiving and like, it's a stone of love. Like, how can it not be? It looks like you guys are gonna be overstimulated with the amount of love that you're getting. Weird. I know, right? A concept. A lot of you are realizing that it's like a concept to like really truly be loved authentically by like, it looks like a decent amount of people, like people really like you. You're seeing yourself as a blessing. You're seeing your existence as something that's meaningful. I'm seeing this huge just like fourth chakra activation where it's just like, the fourth chakra is the heart chakra, love chakra, where you see yourself. And you know, it's also that space of manifestation. So I'm seeing in this, for these people, it's kind of like really beginning to see yourself as worthy. And like things are happening. Like, it's wild how that works, right? So it's like you really seeing yourself as like worthy of love and like worthy, you know, just as a gift. It's like maybe people at your job are just like, you are such a blessing. Like, thank you so much. We're just so happy you're here. Or just like tons of people are sending you emails. You write this thing on social media or something like that, and everyone's just freaking out and like just absolutely loving you, and just it's like overwhelming, it looks like in the beginning, and you're just like, I'm just seeing all of these birds like with these little love letters, and you're just like, oh, a love letter, and you can like really read and like appreciate one, you're like, wow, and then you get another one, and then it's like all of a sudden there's just like this flock of birds just like ring. And then just like all like dump all of these love letters. You're like, I can't breathe. And everyone's like, we love you. And I'm like, oh, you just freaked out. It just looks like a lot of love is coming in. And, you know, allowing yourself to just like really receive that amount of love. And it looks like it's crazy because you're like trying to, at the beginning, you're trying to comprehend like how sweet and kind somebody is in like the first email and like the first message or whatever it is, and you're just, wow, like you're having a hard time even like accepting that. And then it's just like 10,000 other people just come in, you know, maybe not 10,000, maybe 1 million. That'd be amazing. Come in and they just, yeah, just the amount of love that you're gonna be receiving, April. It looks really wonderful. And it looks like, you know, you're really allowing yourself to accept and be able to receive that much. It's like this one person, and you're like, wow, you know, there's also going to be this sort of thing of like, do I deserve this? And maybe it kind of reminds me of like, I have an Aquarius moon, so it's like a lot of emotion. You're like, whoa, you know, it's just kind of like this, you know, it's kind of like a block, you know. And I don't think Aquarian moons, you know, or like whatever, are unable to accept love because they're Aquarian moons. I think the Aquarian moon is the read of the energy of the child's parent, usually the mother, or maybe even the situation where they were continuously taught that their emotions aren't valid and that they don't deserve to receive a ton of like validation and all of that stuff. So I really want to, yeah, I don't see that as like the reason. Like you're not able to accept love because you have an Aquarius moon. No, the Aquarius moon is the manifestation of the childhood wound. And every single sign has a different wound and a different wonderful thing about it, you know? So it's just, anyway, I go on. But it just looks like you're allowing yourself to really accept love in a way that you haven't before, and accept gifts, accept money, accept just like just being able to receive. I think I talked about this at the beginning, but it looks like for those people who, you know, like in the beginning of the year, I had one of my pick a stone predictions for like the end of March. Oh my god, it's almost 3 months. Yeah, it just looks like even more, like you can receive even more. Like that just looks like if you guys got that same stone for that time, it just looks like maybe a lesson for you in 2020. It's like you're allowed to receive. You're just allowed to have things work out for you. You're allowed to be loved. People are allowed to like you. You know, it looks like, yeah, you're allowed to be loved. Your true self can be loved. You can receive, you can have these things. It's okay. It's safe. What else am I seeing here? Wow, it looks like even these people might be giving you like opportunities. Trust them. Trust those opportunities. Go for it. I literally just keep seeing birds dropping things. Drop. Here you go. Here's this thing. Here's the thing. Here's this thing. Here's all these things. Just here's this house. Here's this thing. It's like it looks like for you guys, it's just good to have it. And that's what I see for you guys. I wish I could go on more, but yeah, that's just what I see. It's just pretty simple. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching what's going to happen for April. You know, I think, you know, a lot of things are happening, but it looks like these people, at least that are watching this video, things are going to move through. This too shall pass. So like I said, if you are curious about my healing offering of my subscription service, we have this amazing community. I would love for you guys to be a part of it. I break down literally every single thing I heal. I have an amazing video that I'll have linked down below. Please watch it. It's pretty cool. I spent a really long time making sure that this thing was going to be super, super awesome and super potent, and I spent weeks perfecting the video, perfecting how I was going to heal people, making sure everything was okay. You get a whole giant welcome email. It's official. Okay, my advertising degree popped the fuck out. Like she came and she was ready. She didn't come to play. She was ready. So this thing is like very official, and I'm making sure that, you know, people are able to receive as much as they can. And yeah, connectivity right now is just so unbelievably important, and so please join us if you can, or subscribe to my channel. That would be dope too. Love that. That would be great. I'm about to be monetized. Please watch your things. Please leave a comment down below for different sort of Pika stones. I ask this every single time. Please let me know. Like, what would you like me to read? Not just like whatever I'm doing, you know? Yes, more appreciation for my outfit. Thanks. Happy quarantine.